OpenAI just announced its AI video creation tool, and there's already a scandal. This is SORA, and it works really similarly to how DALL-E works. You just type in a prompt and DALL-E gives you an image. Well, here you just type in a prompt and it gives you a video. I'm just showing you the landing page right now because the traffic is so high to use SORA that you actually can't create an account at this moment. This was announced during OpenAI's 12 Days of OpenAI, where they're basically announcing new products and features in 12 business days leading up to the holidays. There are two major and persistent ethical concerns with a tool of this nature. The first one is going to be how they got the data to train the model, and there's ongoing lawsuits right now about copyrighted materials being used by OpenAI and other companies very similar to it to train their models and then be able to create things like this. Another concern is just people losing their jobs, because if we have AI that can create video like this, then why would we need to hire people who were trained to do this? And so that is a very real impact on humans. But the scandal right now is that somebody wrote an open letter to OpenAI basically saying you invited 300 artists to be able to help with red teaming and bug identification and partnership with this new tool, and essentially the artists walked away feeling like they had been lured into what they call art washing. They said that they felt like OpenAI was basically giving them access to the tool so that these artists would come out on the other side of the testing and say, this is useful for artists. In the letter, it says that hundreds of artists provided unpaid labor for OpenAI, but that a select few got to submit their SORA-created films for a competition, and if their films won, then they got to have those films screened, and they were lightly compensated. But apparently that compensation for those individuals paled in comparison to the actual PR and marketing value that OpenAI received from having artists use their tool to create works like this. The letter has almost 2,000 signatures, and at the end of November, OpenAI did respond by saying, quote, "Participation is voluntary with no obligation to provide feedback or use the tool. We've been excited to offer these artists free access and will continue supporting them through grants, events, and other programs." This letter basically challenges a really common practice in the world of technology, where tech companies will basically give access to groups of individuals, groups of users, people who apply, et cetera, just for their feedback and time. I've participated in betas for like FIA, for example, where I gave feedback just in exchange for being able to use the tool a little bit early and see what it was about. But it does kind of ask that question. When you are creating a tool that could take away work from the very community that you're bringing on to give feedback about the tool, does that present a problem? I'm curious to know what you think.